Peace, salam alaikum. Want to welcome you all back to another Impact Zone. I have a very special guest today. It's my good brother, Taysir Aariz L. I mean, we're in for y'all know I like to interview people that are boots on the ground, everyday entrepreneurs that are having an impact. And this brother is doing some excellent and amazing things in the space of mental health, in the space of prevention of recidivism in the state of North Carolina. So without further ado, I want to introduce y'all to my good brother, Taysir Aariz L. Just tell a little bit about yourself. Matter of fact, can you share the story of how you first became passionate about reducing recidivism and how that led to you to create a for-profit organization in this space?
Yes, I got you. One of the things is, it was like the school to prison pipeline was one of the things that I studied. And being back in my area that I'm from, like the small rural North Carolina, where it's like recidivism is a big thing. Like people, they go back and forth. You get out, you go back. You get out, you go back. So the institutionalization part of it. So when I was doing my research and working with the children, a lot of them were expressing that their parents or somebody was incarcerated or justice involved. That's what we use, the term that we use, justice involved. So I was like, okay. So I came across some things working in the court systems, and actually I ended up being justice involved myself. You know what I'm saying? I went through a little situation where I got caught up in some things, and I met an older brother that was doing it, and he was like, "Hey, man, I I went to court with a suit on. I just say I went to court with a suit on, and here in rural North Carolina, that ain't nothing. You different. Yes, you know what I'm saying. So when I went to court with the suit on, I had to speak to him about my situation. He was like, "Come talk to me, whatever," and he linked me in. For one, once he linked me in, he told me I started out with transitional housing.
What's that? What's transitional housing?
When brothers get out of prison or jail or being homeless, and they are part of the North Carolina Department of Corrections, there's a thing where if there's a house that has a bed, that person can get that bed for 90 days. So with the transitional housing piece, I started linking in with a lot of people that were coming home, and just being able, with my mental health and my therapeutic background, it gave me an opportunity to actually talk to these men and be like, okay, a lot of times, they're dealing with some mental health. They're dealing with what they consider what an institutionalization. That's what they call it. Mental institutionalization, because prison is a different dynamic versus being out on the
for sure.
Right. So
I have a cousin who not to cut you off, but I have a cousin who I think he's in his 50s now. And I mean, since a teenager, he's been in and out of prison, right? I remember, everybody that's familiar with me know we all have a story. And if you're a brother in America, most of us have some type of running, right?
Yeah.
And I remember being in the county jail at one point for like a week, the most like a week, right? And there was a brother in there who was like, yeah, I know how to jail. I know how to jail. You know what I mean? And so he was like institutionalized. He knew the shit. He just, and I seen a video too where this guy had bailed the homeless guy out of prison, out of jail. And the guy got out and was like, come on, man, why'd you do that? Now I got to find a reason to go back in, because he was getting free housing,
right,
free services.
well,
Right. So my point is just saying, just to elaborate on what you're saying, is that being institutionalized, you go through a psychological change and a certain process
absolutely,
that you adjust to. And it's completely different when you're on the outside.
right,
So I just wanted to reiterate that.
I mean, it's a different ecosystem. You're dealing with a whole different dynamic. You know what I mean? You just get down, lay down, whatever whatever the new norm is for that. You know what I'm saying? Because you think about it, they 90s dude. I'm straight
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah,
So I
yeah,
come
yeah,
under the that 10-year Graham law.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got 1 gram of crack is 10 years. That
Mm,
was
mm-hmm,
mandatory. So
mm,
a lot of my people went then when I was young, when I was
mm,
out. So when they got out, and I'm 16 now, you know what I'm saying, 17 now, it was different because they came with knowledge of self. You understand? So a lot of them in the books and the things that they were getting in prisons now, then they're not getting now because prison now is gang culture,
mm. Got you.
right? So
Got
we're
you.
dealing with a different type of recidivism,
Mm, mm,
right? So I'm not going back.
mm,
Life out here is hard.
mm,
3 hours in the car, hey shit. I don't mind
mm,
making a small and a steak cake, baby. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind. So,
mm,
so now when you think about, to go into what you asked, the recidivism part. So once I understood that and understood the prisoner pipeline situation, I was like, okay, so brother, a lot of them, they were getting educated in prison
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and bringing it out like in the 90s, in the late 90s up into 2000, right?
Before you continue, can you explain for those who may not be aware what recidivism is?
Recidivism is basically saying for us, the people, when that guard tell you you'll be back,
Mm,
when you be released and say, oh yeah, we'll see you, you'll be back.
mm. So it's basically the return rate, okay, of gotcha.
How many times is he gonna come back before he get it?
Mm, okay. Pretty much like when you brought up the school of prison pipeline, it's sort of like having to repeat a third or fourth or fifth grade. How many
Absolutely.
times are you going to come back to repeat
Right.
that grade? Got you.
Because if you don't get it, if you the school to prison pipeline, if you don't get it, if you can't read and comprehend by the 3rd grade,
Mm,
you're a criminal. You have no
really?
rationale. Yeah, because you don't know how to comprehend.
Mm. I did see a stat about that says that they know who's going to prison based on third grade reading scores.
Right. So
Mm,
so in the 3rd grade, right? That's why we have these standardized tests.
mm,
So it is standardized tests, right? So when you got this guy in the 3rd grade, but you have taught them all year to read fluently. I can read
mm,
a paragraph in a minute, an
mm.
hour, 100 words, right? Anybody can do that, but you do understand what you read. So I was a school teacher too.
Really?
Yeah, so
Wow.
I taught corrective reading.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it was more about fluency and
Mm,
comprehension.
mm,
How fast I can get this paragraph done. How many
mm.
words I can get in this hour.
And how
Right?
well you can understand it. It's
No,
making sense.
no. Comprehension is how well you can understand what you read.
Mm, mm-hmm,
You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? And be able to,
I remember when I was in school, reading and comprehension was the name of the class. It
right?
makes sense now.
Yeah.
Wow, reading and comprehension. Wow.
Because I can read Jack and Jill ran up the hill, but we don't know how they did it. But do we comprehend why they were going up the hill? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they ran up
Right.
with a hill and it fetched some water and all that. But what was the water for? Right?
Wow.
Comprehension.
Got you. So
Comprehension.
you're saying based on the reading scores, the school of prison pipeline is basically set to test students to see who's at some point by the third grade, they're going to know who's going to fill the prison system.
Knows how to critically think.
So are you indirectly saying criminals for the most part don't have reading comprehension skills and critical thinking skills at a certain level that would make them
I'm
either
absolutely,
not.
I'm absolutely saying that.
Mm,
You know why?
mm,
Because I deal with this on a daily basis. I got 6 guys in a house right now from the age of 25 to 60. They still don't understand my rationale about why you here.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gonna, burn every bridge that you done went through. So nobody wants to deal with you anymore. So right now it's
Gotcha.
like, you know what I'm saying? So it's the comprehensive part. Like, you gotta understand that I done messed up. I done burnt my bridges. So when
Right.
I gotta try to do it on my own because don't nobody wanna, they're gonna feed me with a spoon.
Right. So let me ask you, what part of North Carolina are you doing this work at?
They
And what's
call
the
it,
name of your company?
um, we're called Let's Start Over
Mm,
Incorporated. We're in the eastern part of North Carolina,
okay.
outside of Rocky Mount, North Carolina,
Mm,
if you know what that is. We on the eastern side of Raleigh,
okay.
Durham.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Raleigh,
Gotcha.
Durham. Um,
Okay.
Greenville, and it's not a lot here.
Mm-hmm.
It's still a cloud of racism. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Um,
Mm-hmm.
but hey, they just
Right.
had 29 overdoses in my city last week.
Mm,
But nobody on my cup.
mm. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so it's it's one of those things. Well, the county that I'm from is like it was the central location for slave trade because it was
Mm,
right off 95.
mm,
Yeah,
mm.
they say
Interesting.
Fayetteville is the midway point. No, Halifax was the midway point. 301
Wow.
before 95. So the courthouse in my county was a trading block.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. So there's a direct correlation with the history of the slave trade, slavery, Jim Crow, and
it was
the
the midway
school to
between the
prison
North and the
pipeline.
South.
Wow. Wow. That's incredible. That's incredible. So let me ask you, many people associate social impact initiatives with nonprofits. What made you choose a for-profit model, and what unique advantages does this offer?
Well, I chose for profit because I looked at nonprofit. Nonprofit still has guidelines and rules that you have to go by a state standard or the grantor standard. I don't like going by guidelines. I like being able to be able to help my people the way that I can whenever I can. Not because the
Gotcha.
guidelines say that I can't. I don't care
Gotcha.
how many. Look, to me, money, the money part of it, it don't mean a whole lot to me
Mm,
because I can get private investors the same way that I
mhm.
got this grantor.
Right.
And
Right.
they always
Right.
force us to go nonprofit because we can't control the money. Regardless,
Mm,
if
mm,
you're non, you still don't control the money. You got to pay me $130 to fill out my paperwork.
mm.
You got to
Gotcha.
fill out. You got to pay me $55, $150 to fill out my paperwork because you've been court appointed by the judge to come see me.
So hold on. Yeah, that's the next question. How did that work? How did you initially connect with the state of North Carolina, and what is that? Without giving too much detail, what does that contracting process look like for a project focused on the justice system
Well,
reform?
every 5 years, the state put out what they call RFPs. Right? Anybody can apply for one.
Mm,
Right? And it's a 5-year guaranteed contract within the state. As long as you're doing what beyond the guidelines. And I got two different contracts. I have a housing contract and I have a mental health contract.
okay, pause right there, because you have so many different like dynamics that are you. Before we elaborate on that part, I do know you have like a lot of certifications in the mental health space. Could you elaborate on that as well? Like what are you like qualified in as far as the mental health aspect?
First, I do have an associate's in psychology. That's first and foremost. I always put that out there. I don't claim or disclaim that I'm a psychologist by any
Okay.
means. just know what
Gotcha.
I know, and I
Mm-hmm.
know what works. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna just put that out there as a disclaimer. I'm certified in cognitive behavior therapy, certified in anger management, conflict resolution. I'm
Mm.
certified in adverse childhood experience, certified in alcohol and substance abuse training. I'm about to get my license. I'm an intern right now for what they call CDAC. That's Counselor of Addiction and Drugs and that. Um, just, I mean, that's a couple of different things that I
Yeah.
have under my belt,
Right.
and
Right.
just certification wise. CPR first aid, mental health, CPR and first aid. I'm an instructor, I'm a first responder,
Mm.
community health worker certified, so I can work within the community and I can
Mm-hmm.
dispense medicine. I got Narcan,
Mm.
I do all that.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, that's excellent stuff, man.
It's a
I
one
mean, you
stop
say,
shop, bro. One stop shop.
yeah. That's what I was about to say. Like, it's a one-stop shop. Like, you have so many different qualifications, and I stated this in my book, 24 Lessons of Entrepreneurship, that especially for our people, especially for brothers, certifications, man, get certified in as many different things as you can, because they keep your skills sharp. You know what I mean? Like, I have certifications
Bro,
in AI and all types of different things.
I'm HVAC certified. All three stages: refrigeration,
Wow.
air conditioning,
Wow.
and
Wow.
heating.
But it's deep because it all coincides, because like you said, you have a housing contract and you have a mental health contract with the state. Now, could you please elaborate on that? Like,
Yeah.
what is the nature of these contracts?
What they do is shout out to Marion Fraser. I'm just gonna say that Mr. Fraser, he put me on. He dropped this in my lap and told me, he said, I'm leaving you a gold mile. I'm trying to get out the way.
Mm,
It's hard for us as men of color to pass things on to each other.
mm-hmm,
So
mm-hmm,
right now, he's my mentor, he's my tutor, he's leaving this up to me. If I wouldn't be able to talk to these people, if it wasn't for him. And when you,
Shout outs to him.
yes, when you speak his name in the room,
Mm-hmm.
it happens. It
Mm,
happens. So
gotcha.
anyway, just to get that out of the way, to answer your question, basically it's RFPs that have to be submitted every 5 years. He's been doing this since 1984.
Wow.
So they
Wow.
know who he is,
Mm,
right?
mm,
And our motto is quality over quantity.
mm.
Every dollar ain't a good dollar. So
Say it again. Say that again,
every
please.
dollar ain't a good dollar. Every dollar ain't a good dollar. So we just don't fill our beds just for the sake of filling beds.
Mm-hmm.
We get paid for every bed that's filled, right?
So, what do you house people that are re-entering into society, like
Yes,
what they call a halfway house?
yes. It's a halfway house,
Gotcha.
but I run a housing program.
Mm,
So we do cognitive behavior therapy with the brothers. We link them in with job skills if they need.
mm,
We have some churches that need help when they need it. If they want to go work for those, we buy them clothes. We make sure that they have what they need if they want to succeed. Not everybody make it, so some of them will go right back because of the substance and women. I do
mm,
deal with men,
mm.
and so yeah. So
Wow.
it's finicky, but I do have time to sit down. Like twice a week, I sit down with these brothers and have a conversation. Like, what's your plan? What we doing? You only got 90 days with me. If I give you another 30 days, then you got to be doing something special.
Mm,
So what we
gotcha.
doing? Like, I'm just like you. Like,
Mm-hmm,
don't think that because I work here that I ain't going through the same thing that you going through. It might
mm-hmm.
not be the same, but it is going through things. We
Right.
all going through things,
That's a fact.
regardless.
That is a fact.
Regardless of how
Regardless.
much what we got going on, we still got other things that we got to go through that we off to decide to make sure this running.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a fact, for
So
sure.
when I speak like that and coming to the recidivism part of it, it's hard because perception, like perception plays a lot of part in our people's identity.
Mm,
You know what I mean? It's what it's looked like, and it ain't what it is.
right.
Fake it till you make it.
Mm-hmm.
So I deal with that, you know, with
What
okay.
what is that psychologically? Like what is that
That's
stem from?
insanity.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. It's doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
Deep.
Yeah, that's insanity. That's clinical insanity.
Really?
Yeah.
So this incessant need to fake it till you make it, psychologically, it's clinically insanity, is what you're saying.
Right.
Wow.
Right. Because if I continue to go out here and nail this same nail and that nail don't never go in, and I don't try nothing different.
That's right. That's right. So you said you have a housing contract. So basically you have a contract where brothers that's coming out of prison, you have a housing program where you house them for 90 days.
90 days.
You give them job skill training and you give them cognitive behavioral training. Before we go to the mental health aspect, the cognitive behavioral training, that's very unique because there's a lot of the population that have cognition issues. What is from your perspective and your knowledge base, where does that cognitive behavioral issue stem from with the brothers in our community?
Nobody has been forced to think.
Mm, mm.
Nobody has been forced to think. We came up in the era where you had to think.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I mean,
That's a
if you
fact.
was a rapper, you had to think.
Yeah, and it reflected in your rhymes.
But
That's a fact.
where did he get that from?
Yeah.
He read an encyclopedia or something, right? So you had to think. Nobody wants to think. It's hard. Thinking is hard nowadays because motion is easy.
So we just have a generation of brothers that's just reacting
Yeah,
and not thinking.
yeah, of course, because we're dealing with ego.
Mm.
We're dealing with ego. We're not dealing with conscious, unconscious self. We're dealing with ego. That's what we have. We all got it. We all got it, right? But see, what we don't deal with is super ego.
Break that down. What's the super ego?
That means when I can put my subconscious mind state or my shadow mind and my ego together and be like,
Hey, all right, now we're about to start breaking atoms, as they say, because one thing, and this is without, like, I'm just truly fascinated in general with mental health, brain health, neurology, your neurons, and all of that. And I was coming to the conclusion that I'm like, listen, you have to somehow consciously tap into the subconscious mind because that's the engine.
that's the real you.
That right.
That's the
That's
real
the
you.
observer.
Right.
Right.
That's the real
Yeah.
you because our ego is with our presentation.
Right.
Right.
What we're
You got-
consciously aware of is
right.
driving that.
Because you gotta maintain the ego. So the subconscious ego is the real, like that's the real you. That's the real. The only people that know your subconscious ego is your family. People
That's
that's
true.
closest to you. That's the unconscious consciousness. We're gonna keep calling the sub ego and all that. It's the unconscious consciousness. Call it for what it is. And that's
It's what you do
the unknown
on
known.
automatic.
The unknown known.
Mm.
Things that you know that you don't know that you know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the unknown known. And we don't want to jump into that because it's scary, bro. It's scary.
What about it is scary? What about the conscious?
Inner self. You gotta deal with demons. You gotta deal with demons. You gotta deal with the inner. You gotta be accountable for your over eschatology is herums.
Yeah. Both fine. That's scatology.
Yeah.
Yo, BS. Yeah.
You gotta be accountable for that. You gotta be accountable for that. A lot of us don't want to be accountable for that because we're so conscious about our accomplishments.
You know, brother,
bullshit.
right? At least externally,
Yeah.
right? At least externally. You know, I was saying to myself one time, a wise brother told me, he said his grandfather told him this. He said, anytime you see something in somebody else that you don't like, that's because it's in you.
Mhm.
And there's been a few times where I had to take inventory of myself and said, man, you don't like that somebody did this to you. But don't you know you did the same thing to so and so? And you're not as good as you think you are.
Nature,
Man, that hit me like a ton of bricks, man.
nature,
I was
nature,
like,
bro. Nature,
yo,
nature. Is a mug, bro.
yeah.
That's what I'm telling you, that's what the brothers don't want to deal with the trauma of the situation because we love the glorification of it, right?
Mm,
Glorify it. But when we down and out, we can't understand why we down and out because half of the time is our fault.
mm, mm,
And we don't want
and
to be
that's hard.
accountable.
That's
We don't
difficult to
want to be
accept.
accountable. Because it's something, it's so like we just said with the hamster on the wheel, like the insanity. And
Yeah.
one little thing we don't want to change. We don't
Mm,
want to change it because it fits. Even
mm,
though I got all this here,
mm-hmm,
got that little bit here that's
mm,
keeping me and it's mentally frustrating.
mm.
That's
Wow.
the part that we don't understand. The mental frustration part of we just can't understand why I can't get over.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause you
But it's
really
because
shit, you ain't
you.
ready to go. You ain't ready to let it go.
How does a person let it go?
You just gotta stop, man. You just gotta
Mm,
stop. It's practice. It ain't gonna
right.
happen overnight. It's not
Mm,
going to happen overnight. It's something. It's practical. Like it's
mm,
something you gotta do every day. So when you see it and
yeah.
it approaches you, you gotta be like, yo, I already know what's happening. So I'm going that way
Mm, mm,
because it
mm.
don't appeal to you when you hit it because we still thinking on that same mind
Yeah.
frame,
Right.
right? So we're not
100%.
thinking on a mind frame that we're on the level of elevation because we still stuck here.
Right.
I still got to be that nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Still got to be him, regardless.
Yeah. Yeah, but isn't it isn't it a response mechanism to the external pressures that causes some of these psychological barriers to be difficult to overcome? Because when you think of the mind, you'd be like, yo, I still gotta be him. I still gotta be Himothy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? The thing is just no, I'm just saying because the world, the attacks, the way the system is designed, the way things are set up, not as an excuse, but
that's the
because
matrix,
in
though.
many ways,
That's the
yeah.
matrix. So what pill did you take? So if you took the right pill, then you ain't even worried about all that.
Mm,
If you think about it, we ain't worried about none of that, bro. We ain't
that's a
worried about
fact.
it. They
That's
can
a
attack
fact.
me all they want to. They can slam my name, they can throw dirt. I got dudes that do it on the street nowadays because they think I'm trying to holler at they shorty. They see
Mm,
me out here the way I move.
mm-hmm.
There's nothing about that. Oh,
Right.
we doing something different.
Mm-hmm.
We dealing with a high standard and high quality man.
Mm,
So we ain't even thinking about none of that extra. So we already see through that. Like, no.
So we're gonna have to let everybody tap in. Hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, the share, subscribe, hit the notification. Make sure y'all tune in and share this, man. This is important for our community, especially the brothers.
Yeah, man.
But also to highlight, what you're doing because this is much needed work that needs to be done in our community. But there was a second part to that because we're going to circle back on some of those other things you just said. But so there's the housing program that you got, and there's also the mental health that you provide as well, contract that you have. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Well, the housing right now, I provide 6 beds for the state of North Carolina
Mm,
for returning citizens. They can be deemed homeless or straight out of one of any of the correctional facilities out of the state of North Carolina. Basically, what they have to do is get with a caseworker or probation officer, whatever. That was shoot up to the state. The state says yay. They send it to me. I say yay, and I provide a bed for those people, those individuals.
Mm.
Also, we provide what's called the 3 phases of transition.
Mm.
So, I know from my knowledge that
Mm-hmm.
the first 30 days is decompression.
Mm. Mm.
From making swoles. If you know what a swole is, or some of my people,
Yeah,
you know what a swole is.
yeah.
Tell them like, yo, bro, not a CO.
Mm.
You ain't gotta make swole. I'm gonna feed you every night. You're gonna get a plate.
Mm.
You got guys that, the only thing that they know is room, day room, tray, back to the room, smoke, back. That's it. That's the institutionalization part of it. But as far as the state goes, the state pays per head per bed, and the state, they basically send the people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
and so along with the housing program, you're running concurrently the mental health aspect, which is providing those cognitive behavioral sessions.
right
Wow.
within the
Okay.
houses and also through probation. Like I have a contract with Halifax County, the county which I live in, that I provide what's called CBI and RRS services for those who are on probation. A lot of them just can't pass a piss test. Excuse my language.
No, you're good.
Yeah, they come to me for like what they call intensive outpatient therapy or regular outpatient therapy or cognitive behavior intervention.
Gotcha.
Or I am certified to do anger management and conflict resolution through the court order as well.
So like how does that arise? Like what kind of circumstances and conditions arise where you're able to provide these anger management, conflict resolution, mental health services? Is that probation as well? Is that like based on probation as well?
Some of it is just straight from the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say any names, but in my county, the chief superior court judge is a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
She's a young woman I went to school with. So, so
yeah, got you. Yeah.
If you thinking dollars, then yeah, I get a lot of court order through the bench.
Right.
So that's like basically roughly $200 that they have to pay to get their services done.
Right. And that's pretty much like somebody who comes in, they have like a domestic violence issue or they get into a fight or some type of assault and they don't necessarily get sentenced and they just get like, listen, we got a program here, go to some conflict resolution, some mental health, get some anger management classes.
And the next time we come to court, you have all this done.
Got you. So in a lot of ways, you're creating a scenario and situation by working with the state that allows for brothers to not necessarily have to go to jail or prison through intervention.
I'm playing the middleman. I'm really playing the middleman between the state and the streets. I really am, to be honest with you. I work with probation. I work with Halifax County Probation, Edgecombe County Probation. Great relationship. Anything I need, anything I want. If I need somebody to be removed from my house tonight, I just have to send a text. And they'll leave. The state of North Carolina, the actual housing coordinator, I just have to send her a text or email saying, hey, I need somebody to remove today. She's going to send it to their account and they got to go and get them today.
Gotcha.
So because the program that I run is we do everything. We help these guys get jobs. We get them their IDs. We get them their social security cards. We buy clothes. We make sure they, you know what I'm saying? We feed them. We do everything. You know what I'm saying? Most of them, like right now, most of my guys, I got 3 guys working at the engine plant here. I got 2 of them, they just got here, so they still trying to get themselves together because with the ID situation and the social security part, you know what I'm saying? And then there's a lot going on with people hiring felons. Again, especially with certain
Mm.
felonies. You know what I mean? Domestic violence and gun charges. You're not. It's few and far in between.
Right.
On a daily basis, I battle with a lot of different obstacles dealing with these brothers, especially within the house. So with the mental health part, we partner with probation and the courts for them to refer these guys to mental health.
Yeah. Got you. Mm-hmm.
Right now, I have 46 cases on my caseload.
Wow.
I'm about to.
That's a lot.
I'm about to graduate 5 of them. They finished.
Mm-hmm.
They finished.
Mm-hmm.
And I give it to them straight, no chaser,
Mm-hmm.
no color involved. I got dudes that come in nodding off fentanyl, bro. Like,
got you.
Yeah, sure.
Wow. So I was going to bring something like that up because our next question is like based on the recidivism rates, you know, that could be influenced by a lot of factors like housing, employment, and mental health. And I was going to ask which area do you address, but you just answered it. Like you're dealing with the full spectrum of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Wraparound
my
services.
next, say it again.
It's called wraparound services.
Wraparound services. Got you.
So we
Got
meet
you.
them from the front to the back.
Got you. Based on that, what kind of data or metrics do you track or measure the effectiveness of your services and ensure that they're truly lowering the recidivism rates?
Well, we have a national system called PIMS that is connected with probation, the state, and myself. So I can track, like, when people come to class, the calendar. There's a calendar once a month for, let's just say, if you were referred to me, right? 13 sessions for CBI, right?
Okay.
So
For what?
For CBI, that's the cognitive behavior intervention. So 13 sessions, 13 weeks, which roughly is about 3 months, because it's once a week, right? So once I get there, it's a calendar. I put it on. I got a busy schedule. I got to make sure everything is good. I put in notes once a week for everything. I'm not just, there's some work involved. So once I click that button and say that you came or you didn't come to my class, it goes straight to your probation officer. So they can say, okay, you didn't come to class, I can violate you.
Got you.
You know, I'm telling them in the middle, man, I'm like, yo, I can do a class with, just like me and you talking right now.
Right.
We talk for an hour and I can count that as a class. I'm a private entity, so you can't dictate how I do my classes.
Right. See, I don't know, man. You're preempting my questions. Like you're answering so much. No, this is great. It's great.
Like that's
exactly
algorithms. Come on.
Yeah, because you're so in tune with what you're doing. And I understand it because like when it's something you're doing it's automatic, you're able to talk about it no matter where it is on the spectrum. Because that was my question. My next question was, as a for-profit, how do you balance generating the revenue with the broader goal of social impact and public service? And also, like talking about the partnerships and collaborations you have with the community organizations and how they help strengthen your program. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you've already just showed like how you balance, like as a for-profit, that's how you're able to kind of, determine how you want to deliver these services. You know what I mean? So they're really getting customized services. It's like it's not even, packaged in a way where it's like you either do this or you don't. You're really working with the brothers on the ground, boots on the ground.
Of course, because I have to understand something, that we're all human, and I've been there myself, right? So being human and being there myself, we got jobs. You can't put me on probation and tell me I got to go to class, I got to come see you, I got to go to the drug class, I got to do this, I got to work, and I got to do that, and make it happen. You can't do that. Like I couldn't do all that. The average person can't do that. Like so, think about the person that is not mentally stable to do any of that.
Right.
So I'm gonna do the first part, and I'll figure the rest of it out later. You know what I'm saying? Because we're dealing with bipolar disposition. We're dealing with post-traumatic stress. We're dealing with adverse childhood, experiences. You know what I'm saying? So you're dealing with all these different diagnoses and you're dealing with all these different mental health problems. So why put all this pressure on somebody that can't do but one thing at a time? Why am I making your life hard not look like?
Right.
We've been doing that for too long. It's been a power.
So let me ask you this, right?
Mhm.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about the justice-involved population? How do you address those stereotypes?
I think it's the miseducation. That's the thing. Everybody think a lot of people think that we all fit the same mold just because we look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? But we don't. We don't.
Got you.
We don't.
Got you.
So being able to defeat the stereotype is being able to meet people where they are.
Copy. So from your perspective, what role does technology play in monitoring and supporting individuals after they've been released from prison or jail?
Just being the like, they have to understand that technology is here to help, not to hinder.
Got you.
You know, because I got guys that still don't know how to use the ATM or use the card.
Wow.
Because they've been locked up that many times in their life.
Wow.
You know, so a lot of things are still new to them.
Still new.
Yeah, yeah. Cell phone. If a flip phone, if I can't find a flip phone, I don't want it. If somebody say that, you know what I'm saying? So, a lot of us are still behind the times because we've done a lot of time. You know.
Got you. We got a brother, real quick, a question in the chat from my brother Hassan. He says, would this include post-conviction relief services, and can other programs send clients your way? Like that was his question. I just wanted to
90-day post-release, if that's what he's speaking on. Because
I believe so.
It's the same thing. It's just like probation, but 90-day post-release, you're really not on probation. Most of the time when people are on 90-day post-release, they put them on a bracelet for 90 days.
You.
And they got a curfew. That's mostly for fatal cases. You know what I'm saying? But post-release, on probation, post-release, yeah, we do it all. As long as you deem yourself homeless in the state of North Carolina and you dealing, if you're on post-release, you still got a probation officer. They might not do the same.
So you're able to deal with people throughout the whole state or just your county?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But they're going to have to come to my county.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? So I get guys from the Blue Ridge Mountains. I get everybody that come. My guys right now.
Blue Ridge Mountains? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, they're fentanyl killing them out there, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
It's that bad?
Yeah. Man, we just had 29 overdoses last week right here in Halifax County.
What I don't understand is, I mean, I'm not a...
They don't look like us.
Okay. Got you. Yeah, because I can't understand what... There you go. They're not like us. They're not like us. I get it.
A lot of us, if you tell me you going to give me something, they're going to kill me now, bro. I'm good.
Yeah. Like,
you feel me? I'm good.
Yeah. That's...
Out. Never mind. I'll leave that.
Yeah. For sure. Because I don't want to get the fentanyl thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saved that for the offline. Let me ask you this too. Have you faced any skepticism or criticism for being a for-profit in a space typically occupied by nonprofits and government agencies? And how have you responded, if you ever received any skepticism or criticism?
We have, but we so good at what we do. Like I told you, it's quality over quantity. Every dollar ain't a good dollar. And we turn out product. I got guys to come back. They bring stuff to the house, and dudes like, yo, somebody just dropped off a case of water for you. He driving for the water company. Young boy.
Wow.
Guy
That's amazing.
Come through like, yo, I need I want to check in, make sure y'all good over here. What y'all need? Cases of crab legs. This is a chicken. I can get cases of whatever I need.
So the community, that goes to an earlier question I had. So pretty much the community knows you, they know the work you're doing, so they just help and support just by bringing things that you may need,
Right.
just because they know the work that you're doing. So
Yeah.
you have participation and collaboration within the community where
Absolutely.
they're just doing these things for you.
Absolutely. Faith-based, municipality, whatever I need, man. Private organizations, like whatever.
So in what ways do you prepare participants in your program for the realities of life after release, such as employment, family dynamics, or community reintegration?
Well, I do the 3 phases of transition, right? Well, the first phase is just foundation building, making sure you got your instruments so you can work if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? What's your plan once you get these instruments? What we doing? Like how we going to plan this out? 7 habits highly effective people. Let's go. What we doing? You know what I'm saying? What we doing? What's your end game?
Mm-hmm.
If you ain't got but 90 days with me, I can be generous and give you 30 more, but I ain't got to. You know what I'm saying? So think transition, not extension. So
Got you.
when they get in and then during during the weeks I get with them because a lot of times we get them jobs and they do that that's all they know. I'm working, I'm getting money. They blowing it, they tricking, whatever. And it goes back to the mentality or whatever. Like I tell them all the time, why pull yourself out of a situation just to go right back? Because we always do that. Like we could be down and out and pulling ourselves out of the mud and did all this, and we come back to this prominent place, right? But the bottles of liquor get bigger, the bags of weed get bigger, the circle get bigger. We buy all the chicken wings for everybody. And we right back in that same hole, and them same people that we done did all that for, they going about their business.
Gotcha.
We do that a lot. Like a lot of our people do that a lot when they work themselves so hard to get up out of get it out the mud and go right back. That's insanity.
Right. So let me ask you, what aspects of North Carolina's legal or correctional systems either help or hinder your ability to reduce recidivism?
Being that I know the elected officials that's sitting on the bench, we are able to do something different. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So we getting the grants from the government.
Gotcha.
$500,000 gun violence prevention. You know what I'm saying? $250 million for reentry. Within the last year. So it's there because we have voted the right people in the places to do things. Like on the benches here, they all look like us.
So this is a key example of what people say real politics and real voting power is at the local level.
Absolutely. Because
Gotcha.
the sister that she's the chief of district court right now. She changed the child support laws in our county because
Wow.
she's like,
Really?
how can they pay child support when they locked up?
Sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I got 2 of them. They my friends, bro. I can call them right now. Yeah.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah, I got one that she swear that I'm the best thing since sliced bread.
That's what's up.
And I'm
That's
like,
what's up. It's a beautiful thing, man, that like I said, this show, man, is I named it this because you see how, like you said, it's not about, like you said, it's not about, like so many different platforms like to highlight and showcase who's making the most money and who's doing this. And it's like, but are they impacting the people? Are they really creating change for the better? And, you know, Allah had revealed it to me to call it the impact zone. And it's like, this is the space where I want to highlight stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Where your boots on the ground having real impact in our
So,
community and
you
causing real
want to
change.
talk about money like they getting dope money? Don't do that. Bro, it costs $130 to fill out my paperwork, bro.
Nah, I know you're getting money.
Yo, this is the day's Vic, bro. That was just from the day, like just sitting around in the
Yeah,
office today. Like it's like
yeah,
they ain't even. That's almost $1,000.
yeah.
Just because I do DWI services too. So if
Because this is about entrepreneurship.
yeah,
So it is about making money,
right,
but the
right.
impact,
It's
but
the
the
impact,
impact is,
right? Because
yeah.
here in my county, most of the brothers ain't got license because they got DWI.
And you see how it's a cycle that once you get caught into it, you're disenfranchised, and so you're not able to meet your obligations, and by not being able to meet your obligations, it puts you deeper into
Scratching
the
and
recidivism.
surviving,
Right,
good
right.
times. Yeah. That's basically what you're doing. Yeah, we scratching and surviving. We don't know how the government contract.
Mm, mm.
Gotta learn how the government contract
Mm.
because they need our services more than anybody else.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
because they
I would implore you not to cut you off, because either make a course, because everybody got a course these days, but either make a course to show other, brothers and sisters how to get stuff like this in their counties and in their states, because I'm connected to what's happening in the streets with our people, through the services that I provide in other ways, right? And this is the first, I have never heard of a program like this where it's this dynamic. I just haven't. And my ears is to the streets, trust me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, I don't know if you want to expand or you can bring people under you to expand the impact in these services, but we could talk offline about how to do that. But I think that's real key, man, because this is like a perfect pilot program that needs to be reproduced and implemented all around the country.
well, my thing is, once I get my license,
Mm-hmm.
then I can move like I want to move. See, I'm working
Really?
under
And what
somebody
license
else
is that?
on the drug with the alcohol and drug abuse counselor.
Mm. Got you.
I'm
Got
almost
you.
there. I just gotta take the test.
Got you.
So
Got you.
once I take
Okay.
the test, and once I take the test, it's a wrap. That
Yeah,
way,
because you can
I
go
don't.
deputize everybody.
Yeah. So the brother that put me on, he can go ahead and retire.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Got you.
So
Got you.
and then I can be the umbrella,
Mm-hmm.
and I can raise up anybody that want to work
Yeah.
under me.
Got you.
You know what I'm
Got you.
saying? That's the goal.
So looking ahead, you always preempted my questions. Looking ahead, what is your vision for the future of your company, and how do you see the field of recidivism prevention evolving?
Well, the future for me, I'm expanding because I started with youth.
Mm.
So we
Mm.
going back to that. We got the youth. I'm in teen court. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Mm.
a referral for teen court every other Monday. I'm in
Mm-hmm.
teen court, so I got my referrals there. And I ain't this ain't bragging or anything. This is straight up Medicaid certified. So I could charge
Mm.
Medicaid for my services.
Wow.
Yeah, for the
Wow.
state of
That's
North
amazing.
Carolina.
Really?
And yeah,
Wow.
the sky's the limit.
Yeah. That's
Sky's the
major.
limit. Like, yeah, for real, for real.
That's
Only thing
major.
that I don't have a medical biller. So I'm looking for somebody
Mm.
to do medical billing and get
Mm.
they stuff together. I got the booklet.
Mm.
You need to have it's an ICD-10 and
Mm.
to be able to bill medically because
Wow.
I can bill for peer support. I can bill for mentoring. I can bill for cognitive behavior services.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I
Wow.
mean that's
Right.
so for the future, I want to basically have a whole conglomerate to the point where if you can't pay out of pocket,
You have donors, you have other money.
Yeah. I'm connected with
Where you can cover it.
faith-based organization. You got the state money coming in with the grants and everything like that, because the court grant, the $500,000 is a 2-year grant. So, and we guaranteed $100,000 out of that.
Wow.
I signed on for $100,000. Chat GTP wrote my budget.
Talk to him. Got to use the AI solution technologies.
Man, I prompted the computer, bro. Yeah. What Cam said, computers be putin', right?
The computer's putin'.
Yeah.
So we got a few minutes left. I want to end off with this last question. If you had the power to implement one major policy change immediately to help reduce recidivism, what would it be and why?
Policy. Take the F off the application. Make it one of those things that you don't have to ask. My criminal history. If you've been a felon or the criminal background on the
right.
Yeah. Take that off the application.
And that might be something that may be possible with this administration, since they removed all of the DEI stuff and they rolling all of that back. That might be something that needs to, could be petitioned to be removed off it. And so why would that have the greatest impact?
Because it'll allow those that's willing to have a second chance and willing to take the second chance to not be categorized as stereotype because of what their prior history.
So it'd be straight, like they saying, merit based. It'd be based off the merits.
Because you got a lot of these brothers that go through all these programs within the system and to get themselves together, but they outshadowed by that one that don't know better. You know what I'm saying? I see it myself because I go, with the housing. I see both aspects because I get one that I got to send away in a month.
Got you.
I get one that's there that I need to give him on an extension, on 120-day extension. Because they ain't finished putting the carpet down in his apartment yet.
Got you.
Not having, and being like, I'm talking about all applications. Housing, employment, cars, loans, all that. And they need to allow them to know what they can have once they get out.
So there's like no formal way of educating people reentering into the society about the different tools and opportunities that exist to help them rehabilitate and be productive members of society.
Right.
Gotcha.
It just depends on if you got a good caseworker while you locked, and she cool with you and you cool with her. Yeah.
So it's really the caseworker's job to let you know these things.
Right. The caseworker can get them everything they need for when they get out. They can have ID, they can have Social Security, they can have everything they need for when they get out. So when they get out, the only thing they have to do is go to Social Security. That's all they have to do is go to Social Security and deem themselves mentally institutionalized. Wow. And that's all you have to do. Wow. Not without saying too much.
Yeah, of course.
You think about it, a lot of our brothers that's been through the ranks of incarceration are institutionalized.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
They can
listen. To this very day, like my story. I had an 8-year case that I had to fight. I mean, every day at some point, like in the state of New Jersey, I seen like I was getting pulled over and locked up. To this day, man, when I see those blue, white, and red cherry lights, it just take me back to that space where I'm like, yo, fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't do no time. I just did time in the county, from being arrested from different things like that. You know what I mean? Over traffic and the issues that I was having. But the point I'm making is for somebody who's been in there years, you know what I'm saying? Or just going back for years in their life. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mo, I did 30 days, bro. That was the worst 30 days of my life. I ain't going back. I learned my lesson.
Yeah,
That ain't
it's
nothing for me.
trouble.
I don't want your food. I don't want you to take your shower. I don't want none of that. I barely want to use your toilet.
For sure.
And I'm sleeping on
For
the floor.
sure. Mm,
30 days,
that's
bro.
a fact.
I did it. I did 30 days, so I understand the you know,
Yeah.
I mean, even if I couldn't do 10.
Yeah.
5, I couldn't do 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
30 days
And
was
you know,
big for me.
yeah, man. That's 1 hour in there is too much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Any time behind any wall is way more than enough. You know what I'm saying?
Dynamics is so different, bro. The
Yeah,
dynamics is different. You know what I'm saying?
for
So,
sure.
and that's what we
So
dealing
yeah.
with when we dealing with our brothers, man. That's coming, that's going in and coming out.
Yeah.
You think about
So look.
Power, Ronnie. That's the ultimate example of institutionalization. Neek's brother Ronnie.
Yo, for real, you
On
right.
Raising Cain.
Ronnie, y'all Raising Canaan. Yeah. Yeah. That is the personification of institutionalization.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. And
But
on that note,
yeah,
we got to close. But listen, before we go, we got to let the people know how they can, I'm pretty sure people are going to have questions. They're going to want to reach out to you just to gain insight for your mental health services and just in general that may try to figure out how they can replicate things in their jurisdiction. Where can they reach you at? Where can they find you at?
Pretty much, man, I'm old school, so I ain't got all this extra stuff going on. You can hit me. I can give you my phone number. You know what I mean? 252-822-2118. That's the best way to get with me.
All right. What's your Facebook? Let's give them your
Taysir
Facebook too.
Aariz. Taysir Aariz. Just hit me up on Facebook, and you got any questions, anything like that. But me personally, if you call me, my phone is always busy, so I don't mind answering a call. But yeah, get with me on Taysir Aariz, on Facebook.
And you can give your number out again too.
Yeah.
Give them your number again too.
252-822-2118. Again, just reach out to me. Text me and say, hey, brother, whatever. Do you mind just chopping it up with me? Of course.
And what's the name of your company again?
It's Let's Start Over. That's our recidivism, reentry, and reintroduction to society program. Second chances. That's what we do. We give out second chances, man. Some people need 5 chances.
Yeah, indeed. Hey, listen, man, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming on the show and really explaining what all of it is that you do and all of the things that you're doing in the community and the impact you're having. And you already know we're going to link up offline. And listen, man, this has been an honor and a pleasure. Always. May Allah continue to guide and protect and keep pushing everything forward. And make sure y'all call a brother. Make sure y'all check him out on Facebook. Make sure you like, share, subscribe this show. And make sure you go to MansurMuhammad.com and check out and stay tuned for more things coming soon. The Impact Zone, Episode 3, interview with Taysir Aariz L. Peace, my brother. Peace, bro. Salute.